What is up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome, Titan Nation. Welcome to the show. I already see we got some people in the chat. I appreciate y'all stopping by. Please share the show if you haven't. Share it on your Twitter pages, your Facebooks, all that stuff. Call up your mama, your brother, whoever else. If they're Titans fans, let them know we're live right now. I put out content. Haven't put out as much lately because I've been out of town. I went to the game and stuff like that. And but yeah, I try to put out a couple videos a week. We got an awesome show tonight. We got No Flags Film on. He just did a pretty long stream of him breaking down the game, and he's doing live game breakdowns now. And he does the all 22 stuff, and he spends a lot of time doing it. And so y'all give him a follow. And yeah, let's get it going. I'll bring him on here in a second. And I hope y'all are doing good tonight. Boom. There we go. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, dude. How's it going, man? How are things going?
Going pretty well. It's been a fun game to study over the past couple of days.
Yeah, man.
I was expecting a lot of like having to explain like, all right, here's why we gave up this 40-yard touchdown to Tyreek Hill. Here's why this happened. But no, it's just like we're the best defense in the nation, probably in the history of the NFL, and we're winning the Super Bowl.
I like your style, man.
Get a new mortgage and put a bunch of money.
I knew I liked you for some reason, man. Yeah, and I was watching your stream earlier, and like you had started out saying like you were like, I wasn't worried. Like I didn't have any worries. And that's how I felt. I was at the game and I was just sitting there and I was like, just, eating my nachos and just kind of like I was at a movie, just kind of kicking back, watching the Titans completely destroy the Chiefs. I mean, it's like, it's typical, right? Like it's the Titans, right? I mean, they're hot and cold, hit or miss. This year, though, it seems like they got something. Like they're on to something, with the injuries, with all the crap that's happened. Just imagine if this team was at full strength. I mean, that's what impresses me the most. And maybe if we were at full strength, we would be, 2-5. You know what I mean? But who knows? But it's just, what do you think about that, dude? Like, it's just so weird. Like, Greg Maben, dude, I was sitting up in the stands and I was in like section 245, which is like in the middle tier. So I could see the whole field. I had my own all 22 vision.
Yeah.
And I saw Greg Maben on Tyreek Hill, like on the first play of the game. And I was like, dude, I texted Upload. I was like, it's going to be a long day,
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Yeah. So, to the first thing you said about how, I mean, I tweeted that it was probably the lowest heart rate I've ever had watching a Titans game. Like my setup for watching Titans games is I've got the Titans game on the TV. I've got my computer in my lap with NFL Red Zone on there, but it normally just ends up like I'm not even paying attention to NFL Red Zone. I'm like standing up or I'm just bent over, like laser focused on the Titans game. This game, after the first half, I was pretty much just like chilling back, watching both screens at the same time. We marched down the field, scored that first touchdown, and I'm like, all right, this is about to be a shootout. They're about to put points on the board. It's going to be whoever has the ball last. And then we just stopped them a few times, and I was like pretty quickly, I was like, yeah, we got this in the bag. As far as like sort of the general outlook of the season, what I always do to put things in perspective is like ask myself if at the beginning of the season, would I be content or happy with where we are now? And I feel like if I if you would have asked me preseason through 7 weeks, we're 5-2, would you take that? Like, absolutely. Even if you said we lose to the Jets, but we beat the Bills and Chiefs, like, hell yeah. But yeah, I mean, so, and I think the other thing is with the injuries, it's like, obviously it sucks to have so many injury problems, but at the same time, like, the silver lining is that not a lot of them are super long-term injuries. Like, AJ and Julio have been injured, but it's not like, I'm knocking on wood, it's not like they tore their ACL, you know. Christian Fulton, I would expect will be back in a couple weeks. I know, like, IR, he has to sit out 3 games, so it was nice that they got him on there before the Bills game, you know, because we had that short week, so you get that extra game of IR. So we'll see if he comes off IR. And yeah, Greg Maben, if you remember the first like week of training camp, where like Jim Wyatt and all the people that were at the Titans practices, they would be, you know, tweeting all those clips or saying like Racey McMath just had this great catch. It was always over Greg Maben. And then like 10 minutes later, AJ Brown with an amazing move beats Greg Maben for a touchdown. And like everyone was like, yeah, this guy's getting cut. And then, yeah, he just comes out there and like the coverage wasn't perfect. I will say that Patrick Mahomes had probably the worst game I've ever seen him play. He was missing a lot of open receivers. Like they were getting some separation, but the safeties played really well. The corners, you know, held their own as much as you can really ask them to. And I thought that Shane Bowen called a really good game.
Yeah, and I was definitely going to get to that later with you as far as Bowen and Downing, because I'm really curious. You being an X and O's guy, I know you really study the film, and but yeah, I was going to get to that later as far as, you know, what's your real opinion on how they're doing, what you've seen, and all that. And we're going to play a lot of plays today, guys. I was planning to have No Flags kind of narrate them, and we were going to kind of do what he does on this channel, but my computer is not good enough to do all that. It literally might catch on fire, so I should probably not do that. Actually, I think I've almost smelt the plastic burning in this computer before. Seriously, like I pushed this thing to the limit, but I'm working on getting something new, so we will be able to do that type of stuff. I want to give a shout out to, man, a lot of you in the chat. Y'all are, the comments are flying in. DWS, Life with Devontae, A Name, formerly Vorcetus, I think was his name. MV2K, I'm proud of the Titans. They came from losing to the Jets to getting back on track. Raul Garcia, my buddy who lives near me here. LFG Rossi, what's up, man? Main G, what's up? Keisha Bible. Keisha's always in the shows and stuff, so big shout out to her. Houston 777, Titans down, Colts down, and it must be a Houston fan obviously there. But hey, all are welcome here. SM Ducky, the Cat Man, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? And Janet Kinsey, she says, shout out to Rossi and No Flags Films. I got to hang out with like literally the whole Kinsey fam at the game. Actually, I got a picture here. I'll show it real quick before we get
the stream that I just did was my first like really focused watch through of the offense, and Mason Kinsey had this like really good block. It was like outside zone to the right, like maybe on the 30-yard line or something. But yeah, shout out Mason Kinsey.
Yeah, I saw that. In the game, because I noticed like every time he was in the game, right. I was just like, and I saw that block he made. And I'll play the punt thing too. And I know the coaches kind of backed him up on that punt in the press conference, but I'm trying to find this picture here. I got so much stuff in here. Here we go. So huge shout out to the Kinseys since they're on there right now. That's them on the left. The whole fam is there. Upload and his family is mixed in there too. But the Mason Kinsey's dad, Scott, his stepdad, his mom, all types of people are in there. And that's Upload's family on the right. They all came to the game. It was awesome. I do want to post this too while I have you in here, Janet, you and Scott. But so we were talking about this, and me and Austin Stanley from A to Z Sports. I thought we had squashed the beef, James. I thought we had squashed the beef.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were personally messaging each other. Hey, you know, man, I understand. I get it. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe I shouldn't have made that tweet about you, but you know, it was true. And then like everything was all good, you know, water under the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And I find out I'm talking to Scott last night. I'm talking to Scott, Mason's stepdad. And he's like, did you see the tweet he made during the game? And I'm like, no. And here's the tweet. He said, all those Mason Kinsey fanboys, where y'all at? And he posted that when Mason muffed the punt. And he's directly saying this to me because he had a 12-minute thing on his show like a week ago, basically calling me a Mason Kinsey fan. The whole thing was about me. And I'm like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
like, come on. I thought we squashed the beef. So then I posted back and said, we right here with the whole family. So, you know, it is what it is. I
need to start getting into some beef. I haven't gotten into any media spats yet.
Yeah, it was like the first beef I've ever had. But hey, you know, shout out to them. They put me on their show for 12 minutes, and I think I got like 30 subs out of it. So
there you
go. Let's go ahead and play. Let's play this punt real quick first. And I want to see what you think about it. And Mike Vrabel in the press conference said basically it was just a crap punt. He was playing the hop and basically went the wrong way. And sorry guys, there's no audio on this. Like I said, I had different plans for these videos, but here you go.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the punt the ball took a different bounce than he was expecting it.
Yeah.
To. Like, I'm not a big like special teams guy, both in terms of knowledge and in terms of caring about it. I mean, we scored on that drive anyways, but it's like,
yeah,
the whatever cliche you want to say about the ball, sometimes the balls don't bounce your way. It's like, you know, literally you can't be psychic and know that a ball's going to bounce over your left shoulder. So yeah, I'm not really, I haven't thought about that play since it happened. I'll say that.
Yeah. And I didn't really either until like he posted that, and I was like, come on, bro. Like, I mean, I get it. You're trying to get clicks or whatever else, you know, it's all good. The Power Hour says, hey, Rossi. Hey, NF, shout out to you guys.
Hey, what's up?
And the Power Hour was awesome, dude. I met him at the game. Such a cool dude, man. I met him and his wife. Awesome people. Bryce Pratt says, where's your hat? I forgot my hat in Nashville. Can you believe that? Like, I literally got it signed by Mason Kinsey after the game. Like, I was with them in the stands, and his mom like called him, and he was like, hey, you better come out here. Like, you got fans waiting out here. And he's like, what? So like he comes out, and there's like 30 people out there. And I gave him my hat, and I was like, yo, what's up, man? Because he kind of knows me a little bit. But
right.
And he signed my hat, and then I freaking left it at my mom's like a moron. But she's mailing it to me, and it's actually the second Titans hat I've left there in literally like a month. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just super forgetful, but it is what it is. I'll have it soon, and I'll be displaying it proudly. I want to get through some of these videos here. I guess we can kind of talk over them a little bit. I know they're very quick, but we can get
just go ahead and play them.
We can get your thoughts on them. I didn't put the Henry throwing the TD on here, but I did want to get, and they'll kind of go into session here. but Bud Dupree. I mean, Bud Dupree. Everybody's been wanting to see him get a sack. Just get that first sack. Maybe he's kind of broke the ice. And you could see here how he gets around the tackle. And I don't know if it's just pure speed. And I'll play it again to kind of get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I can kind of give you my thoughts, and then you can play it again one more time, and you guys can look for what I was saying. Yeah. So first, I'm like the opposite of a guy that cares about sacks. There are so many players where I can probably tell you how many pressures they have, but not how many sacks, because I just don't really care about it. I think a lot of sacks are similar to interceptions in a lot of way, where a lot of times you get lucky. And that's not a sack that he lucked into. Like that's the definition of a legit sack, where he beat the offensive tackle with true pass rushing moves and got to the quarterback quickly. But he's coming off from the left side. He lands a really good jam with his inside hand. And then the offensive tackle is trying to reset. So he's going to try to punch with his outside hand. And then Bud Dupree uses his outside hand to quickly swat it away. And then he just has really good bend to flatten his trajectory and get to the quarterback.
And it's it's good to see him out there, and like he and you could see like he's got good speed. You know what I mean? Like his speed looks good.
Yeah.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and like he was, he came out a few weeks ago and basically said, he wasn't ready yet, and he rushed it and all this stuff. So hopefully he's ready to go. I mean, hopefully he's feeling more to 100%. The next play.
One more note on Bud Dupree. Yeah. There's I don't know if you've heard of a thing called a spider chart, but it's basically like a graph of all of a player's combine measurables, but it's like a hexagon kind of. Anyways, it shows like what percentile they are as far as athleticism. And Bud Dupree's is one of the most unique ones ever, because his broad jump is 99th percentile, vertical jump 99th percentile, 40-yard dash 96th percentile, but his arm length is 15th percentile, 3-cone is 11th percentile. It's like every single metric is either elite or just terrible for his position. So has a really unique kind of like build, because he's so explosive and fast, but a lot of times he doesn't really have the length to maximize the effectiveness of that explosiveness. But at the same time, being so explosive and so violent with him landing his punch helps to make up for some of the deficiencies that he has.
And it seems like here he's playing more of like pretty much like a defensive end position, right?
Yeah, wide 9.
In Pittsburgh, was he playing that position mainly, or was he playing like an outside linebacker position?
Well, it's I use the terminology of edge rusher versus defensive lineman, because if it's an even front, which basically means 4 defensive linemen, so like a 4-3, the edge rusher is the defensive end. But in a 3-4 where you have 3 defensive linemen, the edge rusher is the outside linebacker. So it's the same position. It's like to think of an example, what's a 4-3 team like? So a 3-4 team, so like the Titans. So TJ Watt plays outside linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but Kamoko Toure, or the player that the edge rusher they just drafted for the Colts, Kwity Paye, they play defensive end for the Colts because they're a 4-3, but they play the same position. So if we traded for a defensive end that played in a 4-3, he would play outside linebacker for us. So yeah, I mean, he's doing the same thing that he was doing in Pittsburgh.
Huh. Interesting. So I like having you on, man. You know all this stuff. It's awesome. Janet Kenzie says, love all the sport. I love listening to NFF. it's refreshing to hear from someone who has studied the game. Kudos.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So there you go. She's a fan of yours too. And a lot of people in here talking about Harold Landry. We got to re-sign Landry. Danico Autry was A+ signing. Yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, these front four, dude, have been. I mean, especially the last couple games. They've had 9 sacks, the front four in the last 2 games, which is the most in the league. And and tell me if you agree with this or not. But like when you're playing teams like the Bills and the Chiefs, who have quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Mahomes, guys who are mobile and stuff like that, obviously, I mean, you don't want to be blitzing them all game, right? I mean, that's not really the game to play against them. So, I mean, having a front four like this is, I would say, crucial probably in today's NFL when you have players like that.
Yeah, well, with Patrick Mahomes especially, the kind of and I also talked about this in my newest video, but pretty much like the only thing that people have kind of settled on is like, this is what you have to do to beat Patrick Mahomes is that you cannot blitz him. He has the second highest over his career versus the blitz. He has the second highest PFF grade. He has the highest passer rating in the NFL. Again, on plays where he isn't blitzed, has like the 6th highest PFF grade and I think the 10th highest passer rating. So still a good quarterback. But like when you blitz Patrick Mahomes or a quarterback like him, they have the weapons where Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce can create instant separation. So he's going to find that zone that you're trying to replace, or he's going to attack that blitz. And even if the blitz does get to him, when it's a mobile quarterback that can not only run, but can run out of the pocket and continue to look down the field to make plays, which, I mean, that's literally Patrick Mahomes' game. It makes sense why you can't blitz him, and you really need to get pressure with 4. But yeah, this is almost exactly what kind of how I thought it would play out, as far as what our pass rush would look like, where I know people are really wanting to re-sign Harold Landry. I'm still not in that camp yet. He's played very well, but I think kind of my expectation was we would have at worst the 16th ranked pass rush, at worst a middle of the road pass rush, because everyone on our front 4 is like a high end number 2 pass rusher. Harold Landry, Bud Dupree, Jeffrey Simmons, and Danico Autry. None of them, like, I wouldn't say any of them are true number 1s, but they're all high end number 2s. And when you compare that to what we had last year, last year it would be like, okay, maybe Jeffrey Simmons was able to create some pressure on the interior and kind of push the pocket, but there was just nothing happening on the edge and there was no one that could clean it up. So the quarterback just, sidesteps, avoids the pressure. Or, okay, maybe Harold Landry got a nice speed rush off, but all the quarterback had to do was just take one step up into the pocket because there was no one on the interior pressuring him. Because it was all, we're relying on like Jack Crawford and, whoever that long-haired cowboy-looking dude that we signed towards the end of the season was. But now it's like every given play, there's 2 or 3 guys creating havoc, and it's not like Chris Jones, Khalil Mack level where you've got this one guy that is just constantly just terrorizing, or I probably can't say that on YouTube, beating an offensive tackle. It's not like that. It's just 2 or 3 guys that are creating a ton of disruption, and then someone gets a cleanup sack. So they really like raised the floor of this defense, and this is the perfect example of where you can see the marriage between coverage and pass rush, because there were times the coverage wasn't great, but the pass rush was able to get home and bail them out. And there was times that Mahomes had a clean pocket, but the coverage was super tight and he didn't have anywhere to go.
And I pulled up these team rankings today, and I wish I would have got the sacks. I meant to get. Do you know where we stand as far as sacks goes, like rankings or whatever? I didn't
Yeah,
really look it
I'll
up.
look it up. I know that what I do know is that for edge rushers, Harold Landry is second
Yeah,
in
he's second.
pressures among edge rushers, and Danico Autry is 10th among edge rushers with pressure, and
Wow.
Jeffrey Simmons is 5th among defensive linemen with pressure. Simmons has 27 pressures, 4 sacks. Harold Landry has 40 pressures, 8 sacks, and Danico Autry has 30 pressures and 5 sacks.
Wow, that's crazy. And you could see Landry's second in the league,
Mm-hmm.
right under Myles Garrett, which is really impressive. And we'll go over some of these real quick, but like where our offense ranks, total yards, we're 11th, which is good. Points, we're 6th in the league, which is awesome. The defense, obviously, the defense is it's definitely from what we've seen as Titans fans last year. Like it's a totally different defense. Like I think so, anyways. I mean,
Yeah.
the ranking doesn't really show it as much. Like we were 28th last year, we're 22nd right now. But if you look at the rushing defense, we're 9th, which is a vast improvement too. The passing defense 24th, turnovers 16th on defense. So it's the big thing too on third down we're 16th, which is a vast improvement. I mean, we were last in the league last year.
Right.
So I think that those numbers are, as long as we keep playing the way we're playing, and Bowen is putting out the defense that he's putting out, I think it's only going to get better, as long as, and we get Fulton back, and that's going to be a huge help. And I want to get to a few more of these videos here before you get out of here in a little while, but I guess I'll get to some defensive stuff. I know, like, David Long has just been unbelievable. Like, just watching him play has been awesome this year. Like, his speed, it's just like he's stepped it up a whole nother level. This was the Long. I think it's Long on the bottom there that chases him down. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Long breaks the pass up.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, that's the Titans are playing. Let's see if I can remember. I'm pretty sure the Titans are playing Tampa 2 there. Or no, they're playing cover 3. Never mind. And yeah, and so if you watch the bottom 2 linebackers, that's David Long and Harold Landry, or David Long and Rashaan Evans. Rashaan Evans kind of doesn't play his zone correctly. He that was one of the examples where Patrick Mahomes had an open dig route on the right side of the field, and yeah, he didn't play it perfectly, but just really, like, David Long is almost always in the right place in zone coverage. There's really not a lot of mental errors with him, and Rashaan Evans, like, he's over the past 2 weeks, he hasn't been a great cover player, but there haven't been these terrible moments. It's like,
Yeah,
it's on every now and then it'll be he should have, he needs to wall this off a little bit harder, or he needs to be quicker to pass this route off. That sort of thing is, I can live with that. But the first 4 weeks of the season, it was once a drive. It's like, have you never played cover 3 before? Like, y'all don't have that in your playbook? Maybe you missed that day of class. It's like, it looked like he had never played the linebacker position before. So, great to see that was just maybe like a really bad 4-game stretch for Rashaan Evans. I mean, we shouldn't re-sign him for sure. With Jayon Brown coming off of injury reserve, I am really interested to see how they handled that linebacker situation. I mean, I've been really clear that to me, it's a no-brainer that the starting two linebackers should be David Long and Jayon Brown when he's healthy.
Yeah.
They seem to have this affinity for Rashaan Evans for whatever reason, but
yeah, no, it's kind of weird. And Main G says if Jayon Brown comes back, it should be, I think he's meant to say him and David Long. The combo speaks for itself.
Yeah, and the thing is, what I'm guessing is the reason that they're hesitant to start Jayon Brown and David Long is because that would be, I'd have to look it up, but my guess is that would be the lightest by weight, the lightest linebacker duo in the NFL.
Wow.
Maybe I think Atlanta would probably have them beat with Foyesade Oluokun and Deion Jones. I think it would be the second lightest linebacker duo. But the reason I don't think that's a problem, and well, so the reason that before, when they would have Rashaan Evans and David Long as the two starting linebackers, they would put Rashaan Evans on the strong side of formations, meaning the side of the formation with the tight end, because they were more comfortable that when they were more comfortable with Rashaan Evans to engage with those downhill blocks from linemen, and then Jayon could kind of play weak side linebacker, and he would have more coverage responsibilities, and he could, come in and shoot the gap and clean it up. The reason that I'm not worried about that is because David Long is so elusive when it comes to linemen trying to come down the field and block him. I've mentioned this multiple times in videos, but I'm like a football nerd, so I watch a ton of coaching clinics where it's like these dry hour-and-a-half long videos of like the linebacker coach for Morehead State talking about fitting gaps in even fronts, or anyways. But the first thing any linebacker coach will say that they teach their linebackers is don't run around gaps. They need to stack, extend their arms, and then shed the block. And pretty much every linebacker you watch, that plays out where you see like, oh yeah, they ran around the block and it didn't work out for them. But David Long he doesn't like run around blocks. He just almost teleports. He will just, it's like you could call it a juke, but it's really more of a like quick bounce. And you just linebackers can't get their hands on him. And so even though David Long isn't this super physical guy that can stack and shed guards, like I really have no problem with teams running in his direction. So yeah, I would put Jayon and David Long out there, and hopefully that's what happens.
And let me ask you this, man. Like, do you have like any aspirations of like coaching or like any like that type of thing? Like, do you have any aspirations to do that?
No,
like in some capacity.
My interest is like more on the communication side of it. Like to me, I'm more passionate about like, I think there are a lot of people that like, I think the way that that football gets talked about in the media is you've got the debate shows like the Skip and Shannon, the Coward, like all that stuff. That's just lowest common denominator. These people don't even watch the games that they talk about. I mean, yeah. I don't know if like how many offensive linemen do you think the average ESPN host could name? I think some of them could probably name Taylor Lewan. I think that's probably it, right?
Bruce
so you've got
Sard
that. You
could name Lewan
right, exactly.
For the Bills.
You've got that kind of stuff, and then you've got the people that actually know about it that are broadcasting the games. They don't have time to like in between plays to really add anything interesting, and like the networks just think that people are dumb and can't handle listening to any X's and O's things. The point is that like the amount of football education that the media provides people is seriously lacking. But I think there's there's more appetite for that than is being provided. So that's kind of what I'm interested in doing. It's also a sort of thing where once you learn a certain amount about a subject, that's when you realize how much you don't know. I mean, I've watched coaching clinics. Like coaching clinics are like what I have on in the background when I'm like, a lot of people might have like a stream or like a Netflix show, and I'll just have some dude talking about cover 3. But every coaching clinic, I am like blown away by how much these coaches know. And if I was asked even to like coach a high school defense or something, I would be so out of place. I would be overwhelmed. So maybe eventually, but yeah, I'm not at that level of knowledge.
And and I know you got to go soon here, about 10 minutes, but what I wanted to kind of get into, I was going to play more videos tonight, but it's not, it didn't work out kind of how I wanted to. But what I wanted to kind of talk to you about too, what I mentioned earlier in the show, like your opinion on Bowen, and you know, the way he's calling the defense. A lot of people, and I've seen it in the chat, somebody should shout out to Jim Schwartz, and I've heard a lot of people say, oh, it's probably really Jim Schwartz that's having the influence. But what do you think of Bowen? Like, is there, okay, so like the first 4 games, it seemed a lot different. Now the personnel was a little bit different too. You didn't have, the line wasn't as healthy and all that stuff. But is there like some type of major difference in how he's coached or how he's called these last couple of games and like the first 4 or 5 games, or from the film that you've watched all season? Has he changed it up some? Do you think he's improved? What do you think about what he's doing?
Yes. Okay. So this will be kind of a long answer, so brace yourself.
Go ahead, man.
I'll try to segment it so that it's easy to digest.
People ask this, people wonder this.
So, the first thing is, I'll talk about the pass rush. So Jim Schwartz can't pronounce it. Jimmy's defensive scheme is a wide 9-4-3, meaning it's going to be 4 down linemen, and the edge rushers are playing wide 9s. So like what you saw with on that Bud Dupree sack, wide 9 means you're outside of the tight end, or if there's no tight end, you're outside of where they would be. So basically line your edge rushers up really wide. And the Titans get labeled as being a 3-4 defense, but they're actually not really. They run even last year, they run even fronts a ton. I think they only ran what's the traditional 3-4 defensive front. It's called an eagle front or an okie front. They only ran that like 5% of the time last season, I want to say. So they're really an even front team. And in terms of their fronts, I don't see a ton of change from this year to last year. What I do see a ton of change in is the diversity of stunts that they're using. And I think that speaks mostly to the fact that they just have, like I was talking about before, just the baseline of talent across the defensive front has been raised so much. Whereas like last year, really Simmons was like your only guy that could be an alpha pass rusher. When Landry's asked to be the guy, tackles know that the speed rush is his only move, and so they're just going to way overset and just take that away, flush him out of the pocket. They didn't really have the horses to do a ton of exotic stuff, but the amount of different stunts and the way that they're using stunts to play off of each other this season, I thought has been excellent. I noticed that starting week 2, I was like, oh, he's changing things up. So pass rush, I give Shane Bowen an A+. I think that he's done an excellent job scheming up pressure, and it's actually the reason that I'm not in favor of re-signing Landry, even though I think he's having a really good season. I think a lot of his sacks and pressures have been schemed up. As far as the coverage, the amount of the breakdown of defensive coverages that we were running through the first 5 weeks of this season is almost identical to last season. But the personnel is just so much better because Christian Fulton in his second year just has become such a reliable man corner. I think that Jenkins is kind of like reminds me of Malcolm Butler, both in terms of play style and in terms of the way that Titans fans think about him, which is that he's like a kind of a big signing. He gives up a few big plays early, and then everyone's like, oh, Jenkins sucks. And that's just kind of the narrative that gets locked in people's heads. And then after the first few games or the first, half of a season or whatever, then he really turns it on and becomes a good cover corner, and people don't realize it until way later. But Jenkins has been really good the past few weeks. And so, yeah, and Kevin Byard back to form, which has a lot to do with how much better the corners are. I think that the secondary has really helped it be a more effective coverage unit. I talked about how they are rotating coverages. If you want my full thoughts on that, that's my most recent video. But he's been a lot more creative with that. And I really like the way that he has adjusted his strategy once we got hit with the onslaught of injuries to the cornerback position. So when Farley and then Chris Jackson went down, it's everyone, even people that don't know a ton about the X's and O's, is okay, yeah, they're going to play soft zone coverage. And once Caleb Farley went down, the Titans only ran one man coverage snap for the entire game against Buffalo. And they're a man coverage team, so that's pretty extreme. And against the Chiefs, I'm going into it thinking all right, they're just going to keep everything in front of them. They're going to play super conservative soft zone coverage. And they played a ton of zone, but they mixed it up and disguised it in a bunch of exotic ways. And I think that Shane Bowen had his best game coaching. Really, the only negative with Shane Bowen is that there have been some coverage bust, blown assignments, especially earlier in the year. There's that big play to Tyler Lockett. One of the big plays to maybe Christian Kirk against Arizona. A lot of mental errors. And ultimately I put that on the coaches because everybody thinks that coaching is all just calling plays like it's Madden or whatever. But a huge part about coaching, especially on the defensive side of the ball, is being able to effectively communicate stuff to guys in ways that they can, where they can put it to memory so well that they can do it on the field without having to think about it, and they can play fast. And so when a team has a lot of coverage busts, that's one of the telltale signs that they're poorly coached. We haven't seen that. Actually, we saw that against Buffalo when they got that touchdown to Cole Beasley. So that's still the one red flag with Shane Bowen, but I give Bowen a B+ for the year.
That's pretty good, man. I mean, honestly, you know what I think when he started doing better was when he cut that freaking beard.
He kind of reminded me of Zach Galifianakis, a skinny Zach Galifianakis.
I know, dude. I don't know if you've watched his press conferences a lot, but I
know I'm a Titans. I wouldn't say I'm a media member, but a content creator, so I'm supposed to be up on that stuff. But I cannot watch Titans press conferences.
Yeah, they're pretty drab.
I may as well just go outside and stare at a tree stump for an hour.
Yeah, the only
let me guess. You guys need to execute on each and every play. Oh wow, never heard that one before.
Yeah, the only interesting ones is when AJ comes up, right, or Luan, yeah, or somebody. But if you've ever watched Bowen, man, the whole time, he has this bad habit of saying the word right. So next time you see if you see a Bowen press conference, just watch it for a few seconds. Like
Yeah, I'll watch
literally,
out for that.
I bet you he'll say right 10 times in a minute. He's like, we gotta do better on that right. And we talk about his right.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, come on, bro. Like, chill out with the right thing, man. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely improved, man. Hopefully he keeps learning and he keeps growing. I mean, I'm sure Schwartz has something to do with it. I don't know, but I mean, hopefully he keeps growing. Titan Anderson says, "Holy background, no flags, no flags." Laugh out loud. What's up, you guys? And what's up, TA? And if y'all haven't checked out TA, please do. He's a big supporter of the channel. I know he loves your stuff too, man. So shout out to him and everybody who's in here, man. Paulie D, love you, Blue, Donnie D, Oiler Titan, Josh, all you guys that have been freaking just in here waylaying the chat.
Tannehill says, "Yeah, no doubt." That is so true. All the time.
He does, doesn't
he? Yeah,
does.
no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, Shane Wright Bowen. He really does, man. It drives me nuts though. Like Tannehill's pretty boring too. Like he's pretty boring to watch too. So I know it's you got to get out of here soon, man. And I really appreciate you coming on. I appreciate the content that you do, man. This dude, like I'm telling you guys, like I know most of y'all in the chat probably know him already, but this dude puts in some work, man. Like I think that I put in work making this stuff, and I'm like, and I hear about what you do. You're telling me before the show, I'm like, dude, that's ridiculous. But we love to do it, right? Like it's something like to me, this is like a hobby, like it's not, I would love it to be a job one day. Of course, like who wouldn't love to make YouTube videos and make a decent living doing it? Of course,
Right.
but like, is it a sustainable thing? I don't know. It depends on what type of content you're creating, I guess, but it's just something I love to do. I know you love to do it. We both love the Titans. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So follow him on YouTube. Follow him on Twitter at No Flags Film. He gets a lot. He posts a lot of awesome stuff on Twitter too. Anything else you want to say, man? Like just about anything.
No, man. Thanks for having me on, and
Yeah.
probably come on in a few weeks, and we'll see where we're at. Hopefully, we're still riding this win streak.
Yeah, dude, I hope so, man. It'd be really cool if we could keep winning. Yeah, and stay on, guys. I'm gonna go on for a little longer, but yeah, we'll see you later, dude. Tighten up, and
Peace out.
Yeah, we'll hit you next time, man. Yeah, so that was No Flags Film. Give him a follow. I'm gonna go for a little while longer, guys. I got some more stuff I want to go over here, and definitely, check No Flags out if you haven't yet. The dude is really awesome, and he loves the team, and he's a big supporter of me and Upload and the Titan Upload Network. And I will say this: Titan Upload hasn't been posting a lot lately. He's had a lot going on. He was sick for a couple weeks, so he will be posting more. I know, he was at the game. He brought his whole family to the game. I was there with him, so he will be posting more. So y'all stay tuned for that. This channel is a part of the Titan Upload Network, so we try and bring you guys content, as much as we can, as much as we possibly can. We're real world guys. We both work, we have jobs. We don't do this for a living. This is just something we love to do. Hopefully one day maybe we can do it for a living. But this is something we just love to do because we love the team. I want to get to some of your comments. I haven't ignored y'all during the show, but I just kind of wanted to get No Flags his thoughts on a lot of things. Main G says the players on defense is starting to know each other. To see them break off in the cover and cover is so exciting. Yeah, I think that's true too. And the coverage was not bad. Like if we go back and look at some of these plays, I mean, and yes, the like you could see, I mean, the coverage on here is great. Like, I mean, you could probably in a way, call this a coverage thing. I mean, this was when Mahomes was pressured on the 3rd and 11, and he basically threw it in the dirt. Now, the pressure gets to him quick, obviously, but the coverage is really good too. If you look back in the coverage, everybody's blanketed. I mean, who's open? Nobody is open there. So that's pretty awesome that they're playing like that with guys like Greg Maben playing. I mean, come on, man. You got guys who are backups in there that are playing pretty well, and that it has to do, like No Flags Film said, a lot of that has to do in the secondary. It has to do with communication, getting the plays in right. Josh says Evans does have good ability to stop the run. The Colts will be trying to run on us. They will, and the Colts have a good run game with Jonathan Taylor. He did pretty good against this last game, so he's somebody we're going to have to stop. Vrabel and Bowen should have a game plan to stop the run. Yeah, and I believe they will. They've had good game plans so far. Not necessarily Jayon has been out for most of the season. That Jags game was awful, but we do have 9th-ranked rush D. Yeah, that's right. And hopefully Jayon will get back and healthy. Josh Rashawn is, I think he's talking to somebody else there. Football saying our coaching has gotten a lot better. I agree with that. Janoris is a good cornerback. He did great Sunday. I agree. I mean, I think Janoris can be a good cornerback. Like, you know, maybe he's just now getting his bearings under him with a new team. You know, we'll see. Hopefully he continues to play well. He played well on Sunday. Trevier, what's up, brother? Thanks for tuning in. Thank all you guys for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. And please share this channel. Like, if you got guys at work or depending on where you live, I mean, I know where I live, there's no Titans fans. But if you're around Nashville and you got guys that at work or you know, wherever you're at, family, friends, let them know. Let them know to follow me. Most people watch YouTube a lot now, so let them know to follow me, guys. Like, you know, reach out to them, shoot them a text or something. Say, hey, check out this guy, Titans Rossi. You know, if each of you tell 2 people, 3 people, we could grow a lot. And we've already hit like 530 something subscribers in like 3.5 months. So you guys have been killing it for me, and I really appreciate that. Oiler Titan, what's up, man? How are you doing? He says, Titans should have taken Asante Samuels Jr. or Eric Stokes rather than Farley. I agree with you. You know, it was a huge risk, and I think they were trying to get the best value for their pick. I don't know, but I agree with you there, Oiler Titan. Donnie D says AJ and Julio are the best interviews. Yep, I agree with that for sure. Julio's funny, man. Like he's always kind of like, what are you talking about? What a hamstring injury? I don't know what you're talking about. Shane Wright Bowen, yeah. Henry says, you know, he does say, you know. I say like a lot. I know that. And I'm like, I watch my videos back. I guess we all got our quirks, right? Vrabel says guys just made plays. Yeah, it's the Derek each and every day. Henry, how are you doing? Tighten up. What's up, Ryan Dodd? Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Raul, shout out to you, brother. I haven't played this in a while. Let's play the video. This is Raul G. He's in the chat. This is his man cave. So I haven't played this in a while. So let's give it a play. So that's Raul G's Titans Cave. Pretty cool. SM Ducky says the Colts are overrated. I agree. I agree with that. I'm late. What's up, Rossi? Huge game coming up. Indy, hopefully we'll keep it hot. Yeah, man, it is huge. This really is a huge game. This is a massive game. They're 3-4. We're 5-2. We have a chance to really kind of – we've already separated, but – to really separate this division. Like, we really need to win this game. I hope it's not like a letdown game. I think Vrabel does a good job of getting them prepared. I hope that I agree with you, John the Ripper. This is going to be a tough game. I don't think this is going to be an easy game. I really don't. I think this is going to be a tough game. I don't think this is going to be like KC or anything like that. I think they're going to play us tough like they did the last game. The thing is, the difference from this game and the last game is I think both teams are better. I think the Colts are a lot better. And if you remember the last game, Wentz was really injured, and you could tell that was right off his 2 knee sprains the week before. So Wentz is playing a lot better now, and he's a lot healthier. But at the same time, we're a lot better too, and we're a lot healthier too than when we were then. So I think they're going to play us tough. I think we're going to win, though. I think, this is a must-win game. This is a must-win game. They're the Colts. We got to win, and they got to go into this looking at it as one of the most important games that we got going on. Titan Up 13 says 6-2 going into LA. And shout out to Titan Anderson. He's going to be at that game in LA. So yeah, I mean, it would be awesome to be 6-2, and I'm sure he wants to see him 6-2 coming to LA. And he's very confident about that LA game. And I am too. I mean, LA is a good team. They're not a great team. They don't have a run game. So and Titans seem to fare well against teams who don't have good run games. So the Colts are so banged up. Are currently Perry, Campbell, and Ty are both out. Wow, they're out this week. I thought Campbell played last week, but Paris Campbell's always out. He's always hurt. Julian Blackwell. Holy crap. Sorry, guys. Julian Blackwell is out for the season. Has he been out? He's been out, though, right? Or has he just gone out? Or did he just get hurt? Let me know in the comments if y'all know that. Paris is on IR. Wow. Again, he's been on IR his whole career. Carson Wentz and T.Y. Hilton are both healthy. Yeah, I thought T.Y. Hilton was healthy, but, I mean, T.Y. is not really what he used to be. So, I mean, he's not as a threat as he used to. He's always going to be a threat, but it's not like he used to be. I live 30 minutes away from, so I will be at the game as well. Awesome, man. I don't know if you watch Titan Anderson, but y'all should link up when you're there. He's going to the game too. You should shout out to him, or you should give him a shout out and see. Why do people treat the 49ers like a Super Bowl team? I don't know, man. It's like Dallas. Although Dallas is pretty good this year. Titan Anderson is not going due to an issue. Oh, really? I didn't hear that. I didn't know that, man. I thought he was going to the game. That stinks. I'll have to text him later. He might have messaged me already. Let's see. I got a message here. No, I guess he hasn't. But I'll talk to him here later and see what's going on. That's hilarious. Mr. Titan just sent me a message. No, it wasn't Mr. Titan. The Power Hour just sent me a message and says, looks like Urban Meyer just became the best-selling Halloween costume. Check this out. I don't know if y'all can see this. He said, looks like Urban Meyer just became the best-selling Halloween costume. That's awesome. Anyways, and follow the Power Hour, guys. Bryce Pratt says, what's up, buddy? How you doing? He says, always smile about Julio Jones interview. Yeah, it's good stuff. The last time we were in Indy, we were 35-14 at the half. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that for sure. There was some other stuff I wanted to get to here. I know this Julio catch was pretty awesome here. It's just a little curl route, really. Guess that's what you call it. And this is the type of stuff that I like that they're doing with Julio. Kind of just getting the ball in his hands, letting him make a play. He's a big receiver like AJ. He can break tackles. So getting plays like this. This play with Tannehill, I love this play. I wish they would use it more. I get why they don't. And of course, with the finger roll there, I kind of get why they don't. They want to kind of keep it in their back pocket for stuff. The Tannehill interception was just a dumb throw here. He does this every so often. He just makes plays. He makes dumb throws like this, and I really don't know why. he was getting pressured off the edge, and that was where we could have really put it away, but we put it away anyway. So, it is what it is. Hopefully he'll clean that stuff up. I think Tannehill has been looking better lately. And he had a good game. Like I said, he had that touchdown. Didn't have any passing touchdowns, but he had that touchdown. And as you can see here, 21 for 27, so he was almost 80% accurate, 270 yards. Tannehill took over this game. You know what I mean? Like, because they were stopping Henry. So Tannehill really took over this game and did a great job, especially early on when we needed him to. The second half, we were just protecting the lead. A.J. Brown, 8 catches, 133 yards, and a touchdown. Jones is still kind of on spot duty. They're still trying to, I think they're just putting him on a snap count pretty much. Mecole Pruitt becoming our tight end number 1. Josh Reynolds, we had a Josh Reynolds sighting. He actually caught 3 balls. Darrington Evans, we had a Darrington Evans sighting. So that's good too, but I would really like to see them using McNichols like they did early on too. So Mahomes, terrible day. Sacked 4 times. That's amazing. They couldn't run the ball whatsoever. Pringle was their leading receiver, believe it or not. Kelsey, not really a great day. I mean, he didn't really have any huge plays. Tyreek Hill, they kept him under check most of the game. So it was awesome. I mean, they did very well. The defense was amazing. It was the best we've seen the defense play in since when? When was the last time our defense played that good? Really, against probably Baltimore in the playoffs. Tanny was sharp as a knife for mostly all the game. Tanny had a passing TD to AJ. Yeah, you're right. He had a passing and a rushing, so he had 2 TDs, which is awesome. He played great. He really did. Look how open Pruitt was on Tanny's TD run. Yeah, he was, but it was a designed run, so it wasn't like he missed him or anything. Guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I gotta go to work early in the morning, so I really appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Usually I go a little longer than this, but it's been a long day, and like I said, I gotta work early in the morning. So, guys, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys' support. You guys have been freaking awesome. Y'all are always so active in the chat. I mean, I can't even hardly keep up with the comments sometimes because you guys are just boom, 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 boom. So it's amazing. Great show. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, Donnie D. Like, I really appreciate all you guys' support. You guys are awesome, man. Y'all been so good to me, showing me the love and support. So I do appreciate it. I say we go into our bye 9-3 only after L is Ole. And I'd be totally cool with that, man. If we're 9-3, I would be awesome with that. Josh says, love the show. Thanks, man. Great show, brother. Good stuff. And then NFF was great. He always is, dude. He's awesome, man. He really knows his stuff. Like, that guy is just a wealth of knowledge. So I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like I said, this channel is a part of the Titan Upload Network. We got the new logo up in the corner here, the new Titan Upload Network. I also got a new logo here, the new Titans Rossi logo. So I'm kind of rebranded the site. Going to come out with a few little merch things, not like nothing crazy. I got a little Tumblr thing in the works. That's probably the only thing I'm going to come out with to start out with. And that'll probably come out next week. So support your boy if you can. I'm not monetized yet, only until I get 1,000 subs. So support your boy and buy a few tumblers from me or whatever. They're going to be cool. They're really good quality. So yeah, so be looking out for that. Corey Austin says, see you, Rusty. Thanks for watching, man. Thanks for watching, Corey. And I'll see y'all later, man. Many blessings to all of you. Oh, one thing I did want to show real quick. And a lot of you guys have asked me about, like, I've talked about how I've rapped before and stuff like that and done music. Well, here's some of my music picks. The one on the left is actually my album from a couple years ago, and you can find this on Google, on Spotify, on iTunes, on YouTube. If you type in Rossi like that with the exclamation point, Shed Your Skin, you can hear this album. We recorded it in a famous studio in Nashville called the Sound Emporium. It's a great album. The quality is incredible. I mean, it's like a real album that somebody puts out, like from a label. I mean, it's that good, the sound. On the right was actually I found this at my stepdad's house. My mom and stepdad's house last week, and this was an old rap CD when I used to rap like 15 years ago. I went to a school and like an audio engineering school, and I made all my own beats and stuff like that. And one day I'll play some of it on the show for you guys, and y'all get a kick out of that, hearing me rap and stuff. But like I said, the one on the left is like a rock CD. Like Americana rock type of stuff. So y'all check that out, man. Look it up on Google. It's free. Look it up on YouTube. It's free. I'm not asking for any money, anything like that. Doesn't have anything to do with that. So, this channel is about Titans and stuff. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all have been awesome, guys, ladies, whoever's out there watching. I appreciate it. Tighten up. We're going to get out of here. And we'll see you next time. I'll try to get a preview game in for the Colts. I should be able to. I'm not really going anywhere this weekend, so I should be able to. Maybe Saturday night we can get a show in there so stay tuned for that. We'll have some special guests on. What's up, Truth? How you doing, man? I'm just wrapping up the show. So you guys follow Titans and Truth. I was watching him earlier. He had a great show earlier. He went on for like an hour and a half, and so shout out to you, Truth. I really appreciate all your support, man. You've been awesome. You always shouting me out and stuff, so I appreciate it. Raul Garcia's, we got to hear your, yeah, man. I'll play the CD one day on here. I'll play some little clips of it and stuff. It's really old. So yeah. So anyways, tighten up, guys. Tighten up that like button, as we say at the Tighten Upload Network. Subscribe, share, tell your friends at the water cooler tomorrow at work or whatever you're doing. Just say, hey, man, check this guy Titans Rossi out. He gives good content. If you think I do, he gives good quality content. He's passionate about the team. He's a true fan and all that stuff. So tighten up, guys. We'll see you later.